pressure washing business? You mean we got to know the numbers? You got to know what numbers we need? You mean I got to track my numbers? It's important for me to track my numbers? Well, yes, it is important for you to track your numbers. And that is what we are going to talk about a lot tonight, of some key factors of what to track, so that way you can know how much to charge. I see the number one question I get a lot of times is, how much do I charge, Jason? How much do I charge? And my question is, well, how much does it cost you, right? How much does it cost you to get a lead? And so these are some things that is what separates you and will make you a growing, thriving business. And if you want to be a growing, thriving business, then that's what I'm going to hit on tonight. I'm going to hit on it pretty hard. So I got 5 things, and then I've got a sheet here that I will show you of a way that you can track your numbers. This is what I'm actually doing in my mentorship. I give them this sheet and they got to fill out their numbers, because I see so many people, they don't know their numbers. And when you don't know your numbers, it makes it hard to grow a business. And so again, I'm Jason Guyman with King of Pressure Wash, and I'm here to help you get successful and grow your business. Mr. George, before we get started here, Mr. George got a lead on a huge job. 32 2 and 3 townhome style homes. That is awesome, dude. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Second live for me. Happy to be learning from a great group. Well, I'm glad you're learning. Mr. Sean from up there in Canada. I sent you a message. I don't know if I think it was on Facebook. I didn't know if you got it or not. I didn't know if they send candidate messages come across the border or not. We got Pink Robin down in Florida. We got Jason from down at High Dollar, Florida. He just closed a $1,700 job on the schedule, hunting down a $30,000 April. You know, here's the thing, guys. If Jason can do it, anybody can do it, right? There's nothing special about Jason Hefner. Now, does he put in a lot of work? Yes, he puts in a lot of work. He works a full-time firefighter job. He's a paramedic, and he does this on the side as a part-time, which is not really a part-time, but he is able to do a $30,000 month. You can do a $30,000 month also. It does take work. It's not easy. It's flipping rocks. It's marketing. It's marketing. It's marketing. Jason's always sending me pictures of this equipment that's for sale and people that are asking him, and it's marketing, 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 marketing. And yes, it is a $30,000 commercial job. It said it'd probably take about 5 days. So that is pretty awesome. We got Northern Exterior Cleaning. What's up? How's Mr. John High C doing? That's his new nickname. We got Nathan. How's Mr. Nathan doing? We got Tyler in the house. Tyler. 17,000. Help me make a decision on a website. Well, make it. Hey, Jimmy Dudley down in Florida. I believe you are in Florida still. I think. I could be wrong. I think you're still in Florida. So how do we make money? How does Jason make money? Marketing, hustle, rinse, and repeat. I agree with that. What's up, Gene? We got Trisha. How are you doing? Awesome, Jason. Good stuff. Congrats. Mr. Nick Nutter. He's been very successful person growing his business. Very good. Thank you. What's up, Jason? Just closed a $2,100 for my 3rd job ever as a professional pressure washer. I guess how I landed the client. Yard sign. But that's awesome, dude. That is awesome that you did a $2,000 thing. For sure. Pensacola, Florida. Yep. What is the DISC thing? It is a personality test, basically, and it tells you how you are wired, pretty much. What are some put out some door hangers today in Milford, and we'll be spending the whole day tomorrow in Mason with yard signs and door hangers. It's time to raise your prices. You know, I was in one of the Facebook groups, and one of the guys that's always like, he likes to tell everybody how to do stuff and all this stuff, and he was complaining because bleaching went up from $2 to $4 last year to $6 this year. It's like, yep, that's what happened. Things are going to go up. And so that's going to be perfect on knowing your numbers and knowing what you're doing. Hey man, I know it's probably not the right live to join, but I was just wondering how you pay your workers for Christmas lights. I'm starting my business this coming winter. I pay them money. Um, I pay them either by the hour. Usually, is how either hour. I do know some people pay percentage. How's it going? Better days, Mr. Hunter. Hey, Jason. All right. I guess we're good on my questions. Somebody's messaging me or something here. Why is my? Let's see. So let's get started here. Yes, sir. Yard sign. This is Dave Ramsey, by the way. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Got my first employee, Jason. What paperwork do I need with him? You need the W-9 or all the paperwork for that. There's quite a bit that you will need. I've used 2 professional web companies before, and they both suck. Yes, sir. Got my first employee, Jason. All right, so let's talk about. We're going to talk first about some 4 or 5 things that we need to ready for this knowledge you give for the tonight. All right, so the first thing is we need to know what some of our cost is, right? How much does it cost to us to get a customer? How much does it cost us to do all of this stuff to make this thing happen, to get this thing on the road, right? So the first thing is customer acquisition cost. How much does it cost you to get a customer? Now, it might be hard for you to know how much it costs you to get a customer. But if we got Mr. Dave Ramsey on here and he's put out 300 yard signs and he's got 2 customers, then, if we put out a 100 yard sign and we got 2 customers at that point, and the yard sign cost us $300, then our acquisition cost would be $150 per customer, right? And there is other things that go in there than just that. A lot of times that's what we just spend on marketing, and that's one thing. But as we look at this, we need to see what all marketing is included in that. And this is why it is so important, so we can track, so we know how much does it cost us to get a customer. Does it cost us $10? Does it cost us $100? And you will pay anywhere from $50 to $100 to get a customer. And this is why I teach high pricing, because if it's costing me $100 and I bid the job at $200, well, I'm not making any money because I haven't figured in my gas. I haven't figured in all the other expenses also. So how much does it cost you to get a new customer? And this is why getting repeats or referrals are so good, because it doesn't cost us very little to get a repeat customer. It might cost us a text. It might cost us a card. It might cost us something along those lines, but it doesn't cost us a lot to be able to get this. And so it's not hard to get this. So how do I calculate my cost per acquisition? Divide your total marketing and sales expenses by the number of new jobs that you get. That's how you are new customers, right? So these are some things. So you might have sales expenses, right? If you're doing responsive bid, that's part of that sales process. That's got to go into that cost of doing this. And so these are things that we have to think about when we are looking at this. This is something that's a little bit farther down the road. Actually, I'm going to jump down to another one here of the next good one that I like here. What is the average job, right? Revenue per job. What is the revenue per job? And so this one is probably one of the key to knowing your profitability, right? How much is your average ticket? And when we know what our average ticket is, then it's just a math game. If we know how much it costs us to get the lead and we know what our average ticket is, then guess what? Then we can say, hey, if it costs me $100 to get a new customer, I'm going to spend $10,000 so I can get 100 customers, right? At $500, $600 if our average ticket's $500, and now we've made $50,000. And so this is how we grow and scale, is by knowing our numbers. And I know this isn't the fun, sexy stuff about what type of bleach I need or any of that kind of stuff, but a lot of people get into this business because they like pressure washing, right? Oh, look at the green turn clean, and it's so mesmerizing, right? I think it's mesmerizing. I love still cleaning. I love spraying bleach on a wall, and it's like magic. It's the magic juice. You spray the magic juice on the wall, and it just magically turns white or whatever color the siding is, and then you just rinse it off, right? And so we get so caught up into that kind of stuff of, well, what chemicals do I need to carry on my truck? And should I have a gas pump? Should I have a roof pump? Well, should I have all this equipment? And, Jason was actually talking to a guy, and he sent me a message, and he was saying that this guy's like, oh, I don't worry about marketing, right? But how do we get that next customer? That's the most important thing that we can do. And when we know how much that next customer is going to be, that makes us amazing, right? And so, for instance, if I know my average ticket is $700, then every time that phone rings and my close rate, which would be another thing that we need to track, what is your close rate? How many phone calls, how many jobs are you putting in, and how many are you booking? And so this is another one. I don't actually have this written up here, but if we know what our close rate is, and we know what our revenue per job. If we know what our revenue per job is on average and what our close rate is, man, we can go to town at this point, right? We can do amazing things, because if I know my close rate is 50%, that means I've got to get 2 leads to get 1 job. That's an average ticket of $800. So if I want $800, I've got to get the phone to ring twice to be able to get my $800. And so this is something that we have to think about as we keep looking at this and as we keep growing, because this is what grows our business. If you want to be a one-man band and you're struggling, and you're the $400 is your average ticket, $300-$400 is your average ticket. And here's the thing, most people's average ticket that are in the $300-$500 range, they don't even know what their average ticket is. They will tell you that their average ticket is, it's between $500 and $700. And really, when you start cutting the numbers, it's usually lower than that bottom number that they said. And the reason why it is they're lying to themselves. They're like, yeah, my average ticket's between $500 and $900. And I'm like, okay, how many jobs did you do last year? Well, I did this many jobs. All right, how much money did you end up doing? I ended up doing this. So your average ticket is $400. Well, but so your average ticket, numbers don't lie. People lie, right? I can lie to myself and say, I don't want to see these numbers. I don't care about these numbers. Those numbers are just bull crap. But in the end, numbers don't lie, people lie. So, and you can make numbers do things. I'm not going to say you can't make numbers sound better one way or the other, but it is important as we look at this so that we can grow our business. New composition says lowest price guaranteed. Another one saying going out of business, right? Because they don't know no different. A lot of people, when you start understanding your numbers and you understand what makes this, because another thing that I put on here that is a good thing to look at, right, is it's this one here. It's the net promoter score, right? And so this could be a litmus test. And what this is going to do is this is going to say, how much feedback did we get from our customer? Did they give us a 5-star review? Did we deliver consistently quality, or are we going back and doing redos? How can we make sure that this promoter score is going to help keep promoting us forward? Because when we know numbers, and not just the money numbers, but how well the job did we do? How many 5-star reviews are we getting? How many acts of customer feedback that we get? Are you giving a survey to ask your customers between 1 and 10, what was their thing? And then you take all those scores and start putting it into a spreadsheet. And then we can look at that and say, you know what? Our customer service kind of sucks. Or, man, you know what? Our customer service is amazing. And you know what happens when we can say our customer service is amazing? Well, guess what? That's going to come out and people are going to start coming to us and we can raise our prices, which I want you to raise your prices in the first place, but we're going to be so booked out that guess what? We raise our prices some more. You know, and that's the thing that I love about Jason right here, right? When Jason first started, he was scared to death of the $99 guys. He worried to death about the $99 guys. And you know what I told him? Quit worrying about them. Because when we sell on price, when you're like, well, the number one thing that I always get from people is, Jason, you just don't understand. You just don't understand. We live out here. I had a guy tell me that lived in St. Louis, Missouri, right? I'm like, bro, I can go show you people that are doing millions of dollars in St. Louis, Missouri. You're just hanging around a bunch of losers. And guess what happens when you hang around a bunch of losers? And I hate to say it, but that's what happens, right? You know, there's people around here in Northern Kentucky. And there's people that I guarantee you that are groups of people that hang around with each other. You know, there's people that hang around with other groups of people. And I'll tell you who that group is. One is DJ, and then he's the low one out of them. Then you got Patriot Pro Wash doing $500,000 to $750,000. You got Benjamin doing over $1 million. You got other people doing over $1 million in Cincinnati. Now, can you say, well, but you in Northern Kentucky, you can't get that? Well, yeah, you can, because I can show people that are getting it. Well, you just don't understand. No, I understand. Here's what you don't understand. Right now, my biggest competition is time, or you at the end of the day. The best thing that you can do is beat what you did the day before. Do what you need to do better than what you did yesterday, right? And when we do better than what we did yesterday, who cares what the competition is? Who cares if the competition has 1,000 5-star reviews? Who cares if they do whatever, right? Who cares if the biggest guy is stupid and a $99 guy? And yes, there is sometimes the big guy can be the $99 guy. And he's trying to be the Walmart of pressure washing instead of being the Louis Vuitton of pressure washing, right? And we want to be up here in the Rolex and the Louis Vuitton side. We don't want to be down here in the Walmart side, because the problem with the Walmart side is 9 times out of 10, the Walmart guy goes out of business because he thinks, I'm going to get all these jobs and I'm just going to be cheap, and this is what's going to happen. And that does not happen like that. I'm sorry to tell you, but it does not happen like that. And so these are some numbers that I think that you could track. These are some numbers that I really think that you should track. I'm going to put a picture of it up here if it will come up. And this is a spreadsheet that has some automations, but I want to just show you some stuff here. So write down your goal, right? What is your goal for 2023? When you write your goal down and look at it every day, even if you don't hit that goal, man, it's amazing what can happen to you, right? It's amazing what can happen to you. And then the next thing is what is your average ticket, right? What is your average ticket this week? What is your average ticket for the month? And you start figuring this stuff out, and then you can look at what's your average ticket for the year. The more we break this down, the more we think about this and break this into smaller pieces, man, it's amazing what we can do. Because now, you know what? If my average ticket was $547 last week, man, I got to get it to $600 this week, right? How can I get my average ticket up higher? Because it works that way, right? It's an amazing thing when we do that. And then when we look at our average ticket per the month, then this is my average ticket for the month. So this spreadsheet is if you put all your averages here, it will automatically calculate how much is it for the month. And when you look at it for the month, then you can be like, you know what? In March, my average ticket was $757. But April, man, I'm going to make this thing a $900 average ticket, right? How do we do that? Because I know my numbers. If you don't know your numbers and you're just like, yeah, you know what? Last week I got an $800 job and I got a $600 job. my average ticket's between $600 and $800, but you didn't count the $200 or $300 job that you got that brings your average way down, right? And so when we look at this, these are things that we have to do to make sure that we doing the things. Am I making sense here tonight? If I am, let me know in the comments. Say, yes, you're making sense, because I want to know. And my next question is how many people are tracking their numbers? I want to know how many people are tracking your numbers. Now, I know Mr. John High C, once he gets his business, he has a stump grinding business right now. And I would probably say John has I knew it. I said it before he even posted it that he knew his numbers. Right? I didn't know. That's actually saying yes, knowing your numbers. But I would about guarantee you John will know his numbers, because his type of personality is all about data, and it's all about that kind of stuff. And that's where we can do. Yes, you are making sense. Awesome. Making sense. So this is something that a lot of people don't understand. So tracking, $615, right? He knows how much his residential average ticket is. And that's even better, right? When we can break down our average residential ticket, and then we can break down our average commercial, we can break it down, and then we can look at things, right? And then we can look at the profitability at it. And so this is important as we grow and scale. As we get to the next level, we have to think about this stuff, right? This is something that is not easy to do, but it takes time and it sucks, but it will make you a lot better. What you bring this week? What was I asking on that one? Average ticket this week. What you bring this week? How much did you bring in this week? Right? How much did we bring in? How many jobs? I probably should put one more on here. How many jobs did we do? And how much did we bring in? And then how many leads did we do? Right? I started off with a small thing here, and I probably need to make it a little bit bigger. But how many jobs did we do? What's our close percentage, and how much did we bring in, right? Did you bring in 20,000 this week? Did you bring in 5,000 this week? How much did you bring in? 1,000? Did you bring in 500, right? We're still in sucky weather. Up here. Someone asked me the other day in my in my Monday Night Live, he's like, Jason, why is the phone not ringing? Because it's 20 some degrees here, right? It's supposed to rain 4 inches in the next 4 days. Guess what? The phone probably ain't gonna ring after this week. And the other reason why I always tell people is the phone will start ringing. The best time the phone starts ringing is when you start mowing your grass. And we're not start mowing the grass yet, right? Once we start mowing the grass, guess what? The phone will start ringing. Now, people in Florida like Jason, it's 80, 90 degrees down there, and they're just pressure washing their little hearts away. So if you want to start pressure washing earlier, move to Florida. That's what I'm going to tell you. Cincinnati, you don't know one day it's going to be 70, next day it's going to be 20. One day I took my daughter to school and it was 62 degrees, and I picked her up like 4 or 5 or at 2:30, 3 o'clock that afternoon, and it was down to like 30, right? It had dropped 30 some degrees in just like 6 or 7 hours. So we can have summer in morning and winter in the nighttime. So you just never know, right? He's got snow up there in Newfoundland, up in Canada, right? You don't know. What do you think about going to start mowing? Well, when you think you're going to start mowing? Honestly, I don't know. I have started seeing people starting mowing, but it's not like the grass is just shooting up and growing like it should. If we get this 3-4 inches of rain and we get this 50-60 degree weather, we'll start mowing at that point. But until then, that's because here's the thing. When people aren't out looking at their houses, then they're not looking at their houses to see how dirty it is. So this is some things that we have to deal with. So these are some things that I would highly recommend you to track your numbers, right? Tracking your numbers is huge for you when you're growing your business. It's one of the things that will set you apart. It's one of the things that will grow your business at the end of the day. It is one of the things that I know is not fun. There is ways that you can do this tracking. You can do different things. You can do, summer in Florida is slow, started in season. Yeah, it is slow in summer everywhere. This is things that You know, what's our goal? What's our goal for the month? What's our average ticket? What do we bring in this week? What's our close rate? What do we do for marketing, right? Because if we don't know this stuff and if we put this on a spreadsheet, man, it makes life a lot easier because then we can watch. The best part of it is like when you put stuff like what did you do for marketing and you did a bunch this week and you get a bunch of leads and then the next 2 or 3 weeks you didn't do nothing for marketing and then you didn't get no leads and you're like, why didn't I get no leads? Well, I tell you why most people don't get no leads, because they didn't put nothing out. If you don't put nothing out, nothing coming in, right? If you're not asking, you're not going to get it. So are you going out, putting out 25, 50, 100, 200 yard signs a month? Are you doing your Facebook post? Are you doing your LinkedIn post? Are you doing your Google My Business or Google Business Profile post? Are you doing all the things that you need to do? Are you doing, knocking on doors? Are you flipping rocks? Are you going into businesses? Are you asking for reviews? Are you asking for referrals? Right? We got to do everything, and I know that sounds overwhelming sometimes, and it can be overwhelming. And, I always tell people, you got two ways to do it. Either you do it or you pay someone to do it. And there ain't too many people I'd pay to do any of that stuff because some of people just suck at this stuff, right? There's people that will try to take your money and the snake oil, and I can give you a bunch of those, right? I can show you a whole bunch of people that have been snake oiled, and it's real easy to show you. I can give you people that I know, a lot of people that have been burnt from different people. I've actually, sometimes, the best snake oil is SEO. I'll give you SEO, right? That's a good snake oil that a lot of people sell. That a lot of time is snake oil, right? And so this is why in my Monday Night Marketing, I teach marketing. So that way you understand what the snake oil is. You know what the snake oil is. You know what to look for. You know what the questions to ask, right? If you don't know what questions to ask and they give you some big blah, blah, blah and make it sound good, well, guess what? That's all they give you is blah, blah, blah. And that's what you're going to get. And the next thing it's going to say is, well, it takes about 6 to 9 months for this to start ranking. Well, in 6 to 9 months, if this don't rank, are you going to give me my money back? No, they're not going to give you your money back. They're not going to give you crap back. And that's what's going to happen. So it is what it is, right? This is something that I see over and over and over and over, right? I got people on here that I guarantee that would bash a company right now in a heartbeat, that have been screwed by people. And so this is part of growing a business and learning, right? The best way to learn is fail fast. And so people are learning from their failures. And so this is something that you have to think about as we're growing a business, right? There's no perfect SEO out there, right? There's nobody that's going to be amazing and do this, And so this is something that is what it is, right? It is what it is. I know people that I spent a bunch of money in the very beginning. I spent over $5,000 on my website and SEO in the very beginning. And you know how much I got out of that at the end? Zero. This is something, Jason, you lied. You said the most expensive part of running a pressure washing business is marketing and insurance. But it's actually freaking fittings. I'll hit on that. I'll hit on that because you're not lying about that. I'll hit on that because that's a good one right there, right? And so I bought the $5,000 website bullcrap, and this is going to blow my phone up, and I can give you a Facebook group that the dude is still in and still promotes this chick, and she's awesome, and she does all of this stuff, and guess what? My phone never rang. It never rang, right? And so this is what happens when we do this. That's why I spent. So what I've learned in the last days, and this is something that I seen Paul Gardner on here. He's big on this too, right? Invest in yourself. I'm not saying you have to do it all, but invest in yourself. He's been to 2 or 3 of my classes. He's paid for himself. He came back and paid for his guys to come down to it because he's investing in himself. He does classes all over the country and all over the world. He's been to China. I don't think he did classes over there, but he's been to China. right? And so he went over there to look at the designs of bulbs and stuff like that, right? It's how he grew his business, and that's why he's a millionaire, right? He's got 11, $12 million business because he's invested in himself. Is there anything special about this guy? No, he literally started out as a sign guy, a little sign guy, putting wraps on cars and stuff like that, and has grown it into a large business, right? And so he's mentoring people in his same thing of people owning sign businesses and can't make money and can't get doing things, right? Because they're not investing in themselves. People will invest in everything else a lot of times, but and they won't invest in themselves. They won't spend money on themselves. They'll go buy a $20,000 rig and they'll get the free training, but they won't go do a $5,000 mastermind class, right? Chris was on here. He said he did a $5,000 class the week before because it's investing in yourself, right? The more knowledge we have up here that we can think and we can oversee and overcome. And guess what? You know what? A lot of times at those $5,000, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 classes, it's not even the people. You might not learn crap there. You might go and network with someone like Paul that speaks into your life, like he did the one kid that came to our class when he first came to Christmas Light class, spoke into this kid's life, and now he's doing $250,000, $300,000. And this kid was never would have dreamt to do that in his life, and now he's doing it up in New Jersey. And so it's important when you get around the right people. You know, there's a lot of people out there that will want to sell you a bunch of crap at the end of the day, right? You know what? It's just like I'd say king of pressure wash, right? Invest in yourself. I'm not going to say you're going to learn everything in there. I would lie if I did, you know, but there's things in there that you will learn. And there's Monday nights that you can come ask questions and get your questions answered and all of that kind of stuff. And so this is something that we have to think about when we are growing our pressure washing business. So Josh Lester's, I don't even know who that dude is. So actually, I'm going to scroll up here a little ways because I seen this other question. If you got questions, answer it. Caleb said you lied. You said the most expensive part of running a pressure washing business is marketing and insurance, but it's actually freaking fittings. So DJ has been putting together his rig. It's going to be a nice rig. It's got his 10-gallon on it. It's got his 5-gallon pressure washer on it, hot water, and he's switching out the 12-volt and putting the gas roof pump, which that ended up being $6,000. But man, every time we went to the store, you come out with this little bag like this here, and it's almost sad. And there's $300. And we would go to the store 1 to 2 times a day to get stuff, and there's another $100. There's another $300. And I'm not kidding. I mean, it wasn't like these big bags of parts and we got parts everywhere. It was little bags, and it's like $300, $200, $100. And so, you know, I didn't lie, because I have said this before, that, you know, a lot of times when we're trying to figure out how to build our pressure washing rig, we go get the pressure washer and the hoses and the hose reels, and we get all the big pieces, right? And that comes up to $3,000 to $5,000. But we didn't figure in. I always say figure in about $1,000 to $2,000 on them little parts, because it will add up, man. You will be surprised, because you got to get high. You know, you can't just go get brass, because brass is going to eat out. And you don't want to go get the cheapest plastic, because then it's going to break and you're going to have issues. So it can be a pain in the butt to be able to get this stuff. Let's see what we got here. Got to love the gurus. How's Mr. TLC doing? Yes, I was going door to door, going to apartment complex, and got one compartment complex still learning. That's the best way to do it. Stay away from, I'm not going to say that out loud too much, but you can. Nathan will probably say the same thing with you. I have a problem with Google My Business. I can't get on Google. It's frustrating. What should I work on instead? Right now, I'm doing Facebook ads and signs. I know it's frustrating, bro. Do you have your website can also start things. If you got a website doing some blogging, stuff like that. Um, Yard signs, obviously. Um, Flipping rocks. Facebook, regular Facebook can be good for you, not just Facebook ads, but regular Facebook. Google ads is the other thing. You can run Google ads. Free after a year if you don't hit 100 grand. Washing is 30 to 40 hours a week. Running a business is 78 hours a week. People don't see the other 30 or 40 that we invest to manage our business. And it's true, right? I mean, even myself, I spend a lot of time on here, but man, I'm always thinking about business. I'm thinking of different ways. I'm thinking about different people, and I'm always thinking about business. I'm always trying to come up with some genius idea and try it, right? And it's one of those things that as an entrepreneur, it's like your mind never shuts off. It's ADD. I think every entrepreneur has ADD, just because you're like, oh, what about that? Oh, squirrel. And so we just go every which way. But I think that's what makes us unique, and that's what makes us awesome, is that, hey, you can do a lot of things and think about a lot of things. I'm cleaning a minor league baseball stadium for $30,000 worth of marketing, 4 days of work. Sweet. That's awesome. Caleb, half the cost of the rig is fittings, and that is true. I made it, just finished my package and subscription marketing, higher tickets for me in 2023. Sweet. I like high tickets. Know your numbers, but my course, got to love it. Hey, awesome. Like I say, you got to know your numbers, man. If you don't know your numbers, and that's why I push this so hard. And tonight's for marketing. Wednesday. If you didn't know, Wednesday nights for marketing. On Sunday nights, more of the technical, and I'm going to bring people on Sunday who all like Chris coming on here. Or if you know someone that you should come on here, tell them to send me a message, or you send me a message, and I will try to get them on here. It's just because I don't want to be. I want to give you whatever I can give you and help you in any which way. Right? I want to help you in any which way, so that way you can keep growing your business. I way underestimated fittings, man. Been to the store 5 times and still, it is true, man. Like I say, I know as much as I know. So DJ and I were we were putting his rig together, and he's like, I need to go to the store and fix this. I was like, whoa, let's keep working. We'll find something else. And before you know it, we got a whole list that we go to the store. I'm like, if we go every time we need something, we're going, which we did go a lot. I think every time I was over there, we went at least once or twice to the store to pick up stuff. Don't have everything. And I have a big box of stuff. Like I got a tote, like the big tote. I have 3 big totes. One of it has like a bunch of hose. One of it has a bunch of fittings, and the other one has a bunch of bolts. And so I gave him them. So I'm in there digging out all these extra fittings that would have been another $200. See this right here, and I know I need to go into my YouTube and probably blocking, but dude, invest in yourself. It's a pressure washing business. You point the nozzle and press the trigger. Yep, that's right. That's the $20. That's the $15 an hour task. If you want to work on the $1,000 an hour task, you invest in yourself. That's what that's about. If you think it's just spraying water, you definitely have a lot to learn. He couldn't press the trigger for 3 days. Too hard of work. Gino and Guitar Man, do not use them. Has anyone... I already hit that. Jason, speak the truth. I'm in BNI, full of great business owners in my area. Hey, I started out in BNI. I mean, if you have the time, BNI is a good thing. It does take time, but BNI can get you in front of a lot of people, especially if you're in a good BNI. Don't just go to your first BNI and join up with that BNI. Go make sure that you're in the best BNI in the group. See how many referrals are getting passed out in that group. See if everybody's giving referrals, or is it just the one person giving all the referrals? You know, I think you're allowed to go twice to every BNI. And so the one thing I like about BNI is it taught me how to talk to people, right? It taught me how to start selling to people, because when I started this business, I sucked at it. I didn't even like to talk much. And so I know I talk a lot now, but when I started, I didn't talk. You know, when I was online researching, I was one of those people that I was on the computer researching everything, and I never asked a question. I would read everybody else's question, and that's how I learned. I was one of those quiet people there in the background. But as I've grown my business and as I grow other businesses, I've learned that's the dumbest thing you can do. The best thing you can do is ask questions. The more questions you ask, the faster you're going to learn, the faster you're going to get it done. So it is definitely something that is for sure. I'm so tired of tire kickers. They're a huge time waster. Is there a way to mitigate that? Yeah. What's your website say? What's your social media say? You know, as Chris was saying the other night, if you're screaming cheap on your website, they're going to scream cheap. If you're screaming you're expensive, this is a way that you're going to get those tire kickers away. Are you showing that you got those 5-star reviews? Are you showing that you do amazing work, and that the customers that say that they do quality work and they're amazing and that they're kind of expensive? Like, I can go show you right now. You can go look up Rivertown Pro Washes and it will say that he's not the cheapest and he's the most expensive. But that's fine, because that's telling other people that if I'm looking for the cheapest, I probably not ought to call this company, right? But if you're looking to get the work done and to be the best and get all the little things, then that's what that will take care of them. LinkedIn. Gino, have you got a bunch of citations and then tried to get on Google? Yeah, this is so one thing that what I would say there is go, if you don't have a website, you about have to have a website in 2023. You need a website. So what I've actually taught now, you know, I used to teach people to go get their Google My Business right away and sign up for it. But now what I've actually teach is go get your Google My Business, or not, sorry, don't get your Google My Business. Go get your website up, have your address on it. Go get your LinkedIn, put your link address on it. Post a couple posts with it. Go get your Facebook page, put your NAP on it, name, address, phone number. Go get your Twitter account and put your name, address, and phone number on it. And tweet about 8 to 10 times with your name, address, and phone number on it. Go get a YouTube channel, and that is your company, and put the NAP on it, name, address, phone number, and the videos. And that video don't have to be, you can go get it made on Fiverr of, you know, pressure washing in Cincinnati or whatever it is, wherever you're at, and put the name, address, and phone number on there. And then I would even say go a step further and buy the good citation, not off Fiverr, but off, you can buy them at, you know, if you want to go to Bright Local or something like that, and buy your citations. So that way, that will help you. And if you do enough of this, Google will actually see that and give you that business just from there. Yep. Good. I just started therapy and meds for ADHD. Hey, I don't think nothing wrong with ADHD. You know, autism, you know, people say autism, you know, most people that have autism are like amazing at something. Like they have like crazy skills that just are crazy because it's just the way they work. I use it to my advantage. I can multitask like no other. Yep. Yep. Educate your customer, let them know the process, and have confidence in yourself. You know, and that's kind of back to the whole selling cheap, or, you know, doing that. How are you selling them, right? How, are you just selling pressure washing, or are you selling time? Are you selling whatever their pain point is? And if we don't ask the questions to get the pain point, then we're selling pressure washing, and all they see is pressure washing, and we're not selling what their pain is. You know, their pain might be that they ain't getting none from their wife because she's told him to get it done before they get it done. So if you know that's their pain, hey bro, we will get this thing done tomorrow, and it's going to cost you a lot, but he'll be like, here you go, bro. Right? What's their pain point? If we don't know their pain point, how can we sell them? And if we're only selling pressure washing, that is high dollar, right? And so we got to know what their pain points are. That was an awesome night with Chris. Chris is awesome. Chris is great. Are you W-2 employees or are they 1099? Well, are they employees or do they work for you? Then they're employees. They're workers' comp. They're W-2s. They're not 1099s. And if you're telling them to go do a job and they have their own equipment, then that would be a 1099. The biggest thing with this is if you don't cover them with workers' comp and they get hurt, that's where the problem lies. What do you think about becoming a vendor for a builder? Most consistent work, but lower prices. It can work. We did a bunch of garage floors and different things that we'd go in after they got done cleaning and knock off the drywall mud and that crap. Get Pink Flamingo on the channel. You know what? I did reach out to him one time. He would be a good one. I'm going to write that down. Thank you. I did reach out to him. Sorry, I'm writing something down there because I want to. And he said he would, and I think I dropped the ball. What all goes into the process of knowing your number? I got my idea, but just checking in case I leave something out. So I like what's your goal for the week, goal for the month. You could do the goal for the month, goal for the year, right? The further we break it down, the better off we can be. Now, we can break it down sometimes too far, but if we can break it down and put it in like graphs and different things like that, that will also help us. So what's our goal for the month, right? What's our goal? And then what's our actuals? Because that way we can see, all right, this was my goal, this was my actuals. Where did I come short? Did I not get enough jobs? Was my average ticket too low? What do I need to do to get there? And so when we know our numbers and we know our average ticket, we need to know our average ticket. And so that way we can say, all right, if our average ticket is this, how many clients do I need to do to be able to hit our goal, right? If I have a goal of $100,000, let's say I have a goal of $100,000, right? And this is easy math. And I'm going to still make sure my math is right because I want to make sure. So if my goal is $100,000 and my average ticket is, let's just say $500. So that means I need 200 customers in a series of 8 months, if that's my goal for the year, and I live up here. So my goal, I need 200 jobs. Now, in 8 months, if I divide that, right, divide that by 8, that tells me I need 25 jobs per month, right? And if I break that down again, and per week, I need 4 jobs at an average ticket of $400, and that's going to get me to $100,000. And so when we know what our average ticket is and we know what our goal is, guess what? We can start looking at that. You know, and if this week I only did 3 jobs, well, guess what? Next week I need to do 4 to 5 jobs, so that way I make up for it. And so that's how we can look at this and we can start doing it. So what's our goals for the week? What's our goals for the month? What's our goal for the year? What's our average ticket for the week? What's the average ticket for the month, right? Because the month is going to be a little bit different. And what's our average ticket for the year? And you know, where that average ticket for the year comes in is forecasting for next year, right? If I know last year my average ticket was $700 overall, because there's going to be jobs that are going to jump up your average ticket. You know, you do the $17,000 commercial job, our average ticket's going to go way up, right? And it is good to kind of separate those two. What's our average ticket for commercial? What's our average ticket for residential? How much did we bring in for the week? How much did we bring in for the month? So that way we can start doing it. What's our average close rate? And because that will give us our stuff for that. Buy 3 of everything. Yeah, when you're putting a rig together, you might as well buy 4 because you're going to probably use some things and not. As many books you sold for Mike at profit first, he should come on. That would be pretty cool to have him on. Um, that would be pretty cool to have Mike on. Mike Kalinske. Um, yeah, it's not. Why not? Says not to cut and paste GPT generate script. Yeah, it's not. It's best not to. I try to run it through Grammarly or something like that. So then that way it kind of changes it up enough. And it makes it sometimes some of Chat GPT stuff is kind of goofy. Now with Chat GPT 4 is actually way better than 3. You could probably get away with cut and pasting on 4. Now that Google Bard is coming out, that's going to get interesting. I'm in BNI, best BNI, 34 members, 1.3 million in 4 months. Crazy. This is a killer group. Awesome. Powerful improvements channel as well. I had him on once before. I could probably reach out to him. I know him. He would probably come back on. I know with his kid, that's the only thing with him. The last time it was kind of hard with his kid. Getting ready to put out 50 yard signs for Friday, all the way from Stockton, California. Going, Jason. We are going to meet our goals. Awesome. I love the positivity. Positivity, positivity. Nathan, I'd like to link up here and there. Jason, this is what I tell customers. We're not the cheapest, but we promise we won't leave you feeling cheap. Yeah, I don't really like that. I just don't like telling them we're not the cheapest. I guess I got lucky with my GMB. I had no idea what I was doing, but I listed it and ranked high locally. I will say some of my reviews aren't posted. Yeah, that's good old Google. The same with me. People know I'm not cheap, and they still call to get work done in South Carolina area. I don't post cheap pictures or cheap. And that's the other thing too, right? Are you posting those amazing before and after pictures of the trailer, or are you posting the already clean house that you clean? That's the big $500,000, $750,000 house with your truck in front of it and a sign, right? That screams cheap versus not cheap. Sell experience, right? Sell experience. We're not selling pressure washing. If you're selling pressure washing, you are not going to be, you're going to struggle. Year 3, starting my GMB with over 600 pictures and lots of posts since 2020 is getting me free leads now. Yep. Don't change anything is what I would say. Don't change anything. You are the best. Price it like so. And this is something that people don't realize is you are worth $300 an hour. You are worth $500 an hour. You are worth $1,000 an hour. If you don't believe you're worth $300 an hour, well, nobody else is going to believe you either. And this is tough. I always tell people that if someone's made $100,000 starting a pressure washing business, I can get them to $100,000 way quicker than somebody who was making $20, $40,000, $50,000 a year, right? Because for $300 in an hour, oh my God, I ain't no way I can be worth that. But you are, right? You're going to solve their pain and they will pay you for it. And that's the awesome. But Jason, it only takes me an hour. So it's not, how long does it take you to build that machine and buy all those fittings and learn and keep learning, right? That's why when people tell me, when I hear the next thing, oh, it's only going to take me an hour, why am I going to charge more than $300? Well, why wouldn't you? It doesn't, how much does Chick-fil-A make in an hour? If you can tell me how much Chick-fil-A makes in an hour, then they're not worth that either. But guess what? They get $10. I bet their average ticket is over $10, $15, right? And they're one right after another after another. Now, Sunday they don't make no money, but all the other days they just rake it in. Raking it in. Hey, Jason, how does this LinkedIn app work? It don't let me add the people I need to. Thanks for the help. It does take some time to get it, so you will have to like find people you know, and then once you do it, or you can do a lot of times if you do you can do the 30 days free, and get the sales navigator and get a lot of people on, and then you can go from there. Awesome, Manny. I don't do roofs. Would it be best to for sell or the job to another? Yeah, it is. If you know another local guy that will do them for you and be like, hey, give me 10% of it or whatever it is, and you sell it, or 50% if you find someone stupid enough that they can do it. Big goals call for big action. My thoughts exactly. QuickBooks versus Marquette, pros and cons. It's two different things, kind of. You can still invoice out of QuickBooks, but the thing about QuickBooks is you're not. I know Marquette, you can start sending out text and emails and stuff like that. It's a little bit harder to do it from there. I second QuickBooks. I'm on the fence switching to Marquette. Actually, I like both. If I'm going to do Marquette, I still like QuickBooks. QuickBooks is more for you buying stuff and knowing all your numbers even better. Marquette, you're not going to know your numbers of how much your cost is. Where QuickBooks, you can get a P&L and it'll tell you how much your costs are, all of that stuff, because it's tracking all of that as you go. Troll subscribers help. Jason, the same as those of us that appreciate Jason because he has helped change our life. It's awesome, dude. What's up, Austin Davis? I'd have you on here. Come on. What would you say if is a good minimum for cleaning for another contractor? What would you say is a good minimum? It depends on what you're doing and stuff. Jason, his son has gotten a lot better. Should we be putting out yard signs in the South? It's still kind of cold here. Yeah, it's kind of what I was saying earlier. It's one of those things that hopefully next week we'll start getting it. The Power of Consistency is a great book. Anything consistent is a great book. I have made $1,000 an hour and left money on the table because you're worth it. Poor mindset. Yeah, that's right, Jason. You got poor mindset. That's why you couldn't do more. Hour to wash and 5 to do everything else. All right. Let's see. I tell my customers it's like going to the dollar store to get a broom, and you can't expect no more than a Dollar Tree broom. But the dollar broom actually cost you $5, so that's why it's higher and higher standards. Yeah, I was going to say Austin Davis. Just watched a couple of his videos. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished so far. All right, moving to another state and changing business name. Can I transfer the reviews from my current Google My Business and business name? This is a tricky one. I would it's probably going to get suspended. I don't know if that's going to be your best bet or not. You could try it, but you will also have to go in and make sure all your citations are changed. So you may need to do an audit if you got a bunch of citations that are for that other business. It can be done, but I don't know how well successfully it's going to be done. Guys, I have decided that I'm going to make $10,000 this month. Hold me accountable. Well, let's do it, Caleb. In March or April? It's still snowing up there and up where you are, so I'm assuming you're saying in April. All right. So if you want to go check out kingofpressurewash.com, there you can learn all kinds of stuff. Every Monday night we do Monday Night Marketing. You can also go there. I have a resource page. On that resource page, I have a whole bunch of stuff down through there. It's a good information. It has like Jill's office, responsive bid. It has books that I recommend. It has podcasts that I recommend. It has a lot of different information. So go check out King of Pressure Wash. It actually, if you go, you can go listen to the podcast is on there. I also got a blog. I've been blogging about once a week. My goal is to get twice a week up. I'm kind of behind right now, but my goal is to get twice a week up. I'm trying to get everything else done. So if you're doing that, the other thing is too, if you want to go and actually pressure wash and learn how to pressure wash, you can go to KPW Train. You can go to King of Pressure Wash too, or you can go here. It'll actually take you to that landing page. And that will show the dates for. I have one coming up in Cincinnati. It's not going to be a very big class, so that is something that you will get more one-on-one attention. I am going to do the love language stuff. I am going to do the disc stuff. I am going to do the other things for on Saturday, and you will learn a crap ton of stuff on there. And then what I'm actually going to say is I'm going to send out an email to the people that are coming is to bring your laptops or iPads so that we can start working on stuff. I'm going to try to set it maybe 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours of, all right, we worked on what we talked. Now let's start taking action, because I want you to start taking action right away. I want you to, if you need help get a logo, we'll get on Fiverr and we'll get you a logo. If you need help setting up different things, we'll get you set up and getting whatever you need help with. I know not everybody's in the same boat, but my goal is let's try to get you help in doing it. And so I'm probably going to set an hour or two aside, as long as it don't go long on the other stuff. But it will help you understand and grow your business. And so that's at KPW Train. Like I said, that's the dates. The last thing I got here is if you need a website or marketing, you can go to kingofmarketing.io. And there I have, if you want to check and see if your website, there's an audit on there. You can audit your website and check what's going on there, see what you've come up on that audit. And then if you need a template website, I can get you a template website. Or if you want the better package and want Google AdWords and AdWords ran and all of that. I will be putting right now I don't have all my marketing stuff up there, but I'm going to start putting some Canva templates up there. I'm going to put, so like if you want this card, like for this card here, I'm going to put this template up there. So if you want to buy the template, you can get the template. If you're in the membership, I'm going to give them, that will come with you for free. So that is definitely something that if you want to do this, but these are the templates here. I'm going to come up with other templates that you will be able to take off there on Canva, so you can actually just, like, you can change out the little pictures, you can change out the names, you can change out the pictures. If you don't want to change out the pictures and have DJ's Fat Butt on there, then you just do DJ Fat Butt on there, right? But these are some things that you might think about to do that. So I will be putting, right now, if you want Google AdWords, you got to go right now, if you want the whole thing, it's pressurewashhelp.com/Google Ads, and that's where I set them up for you, but I don't run them. If you want me to run them, they will be here. Everything will be coming over here, but I've got 3 websites right now that I'm working on, and so I'm trying to get those up. And yes, Sean, I'm working on yours too. And yes, I don't know if I told you, but I can get Canadian numbers, even the old your old zip codes, if you know what that zip code is. I can get those too. But these are things that I want to be able to help you grow your business. I know snake oil is snake oil, and I see it all the time. And so I got tired of seeing snake oil. So I want to try to help in any ways that I can to make you successful, because my goal is to make you all successful. I want to help 1,000 people make $100,000 a year, and I know it's possible. I'm seeing it every day, and it's awesome, and I love seeing people change their life and change how they've thought, and have a different mindset, right? A lot of people come in this with a poor mindset, and you got to get rid of your poor mindset. If you keep a poor mindset, it will be the hardest thing for you to ever grow a business. I was looking at statistics the other day, and it's like 90% of the people fail business in the first year. I don't want you to be a failure. I want you to be successful. I see so many people go buy all this equipment, and then they're selling it because they got a life change, or they decided to go a different way because they couldn't figure out how to do their business. They bought $20,000-$30,000 worth of equipment and didn't spend nothing in marketing, and that's not cool, right? I want you to grow your business. I want you to be successful. I want you to change your family's future, right? what can I help you do to change your family future? These are things that are what you can do and to do this. You know, a goal is $1 billion by 2030. I want you to do it, right? Because I know you're going to give a lot back to what things that you would never been able to do if you didn't do that, right? You know, actually, there's a guy that goes to our church, and his dad's uncle was a billionaire, and they said he gave 90% of it away, and it didn't matter what he did. No matter what he did, money kept coming. And so he built camps all over the world where he has these youth camps where people come and do youth camps all over the world. Like my friend's dad, he's 90 years old, and he's still going over there building these youth camps for these people. And it was his brother who was the billionaire. And so this is something that is amazing to see, you know. And when you see people like that, they can look at poop and make money out of that stupid stuff, right? It's just magic when that happens. And when you have God on your side and you can do things like that, man, he give you talent so that you can keep growing your business. And so this is something that I want you to be able to grow your business. You know, I would love to hit 5 million by 2030, and I probably could if I tried. And who knows what I between the 7 years. I don't know what's in store in me in the next 7 years. I have no idea. You know, the one thing that I struggle the most is I'm not a dreamer, right? I can't. It's hard for me to see stuff. I'm a realistic at the end of the day. Sometimes I can be negative Nelly, and so I've got to get out of that. I tell myself when I wake up, man, what do I got to do? Like today, man, I didn't get my crap done. Well, you know what? I did get stuff done. And so how can I be realistic and still be a visionary? And I do have vision, but my vision is to help you guys grow your business. So too low for you, Jason. So $5 million in 7 years is too low. You deserve it, desire it. Yep. But hope you all have an amazing week. I hope you all, thank you for the lifting up. You know, and you guys are amazing. That's what I love about you guys. You know, you guys are just ordinary people that doing extraordinary things. There's nothing special. You know, Sean right here. I'm going to hit on Sean right here. He was an airplane mechanic for 40 years, 30 years, literally working on airplanes, right? You know, there's nothing special about old mechanic, but he's doing amazing things, and that's what's awesome. So hope you all have an amazing night, and I'll see you all later.